Discovery Podcast, a podcast where you discover yourself through your life journey. I want to welcome you to this Wednesday, April 13th. Quick shout out to my aunt Tony, and my sister-in-law, whose both birthdays are today. So if they're
Mm,
listening, well, my sister-in-law, if she's listening, happy birthday to you. Before we get started with our special guest, I want to remind everybody who's on YouTube to hit the subscribe button, hit that like and subscribe. I want to kind of get that algorithm to going because YouTube is tripping. And so the more people that respond, then the higher chance that you can receive more content of the video. Okay, so with all that out the way, I want to welcome my special guest. This lady has been a longtime friend. We went to school together, and she has her story is just so inspirational. And I just wanted to give her the opportunity to share what she is doing. She's doing such wonderful things for the community, and her name is Beverly Wells. So I appreciate you, Bev, and thank
thank
you for so
you.
much for allowing me to interview you. And I want you to share everything that you've been doing. So, um, just give us a little background of how you started your journey to what you're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about that in a second, but I want to kind of give
Um,
the audience a little background about yourself.
well, I've lived in Elyria all my life, and I'm the mother of two sons, Brandon Ammons and Jaden Wells, and it's just been a journey. God has definitely had His hand on and in my life. I'm a blogger, a writer. I'm working on a memoir right now for my mom. I've
Mm.
started writing a little poetry, and so I
Wow.
just had a gig out in Tremont, um, Cleveland area on this past Saturday night, sharing some of my pieces, and I just was invited to another gig that's coming up on 14th at Jazz on Broadway.
Oh, good.
Um,
Well, we're gonna have to talk about that
yes,
and tell people I'll give the shout out once
yeah,
we, in
yeah.
the podcast.
Um,
But, for
I
those I'll say go ahead.
and I have been a employee, an administrative assistant for Elyria Schools for 31 years, but
Wow.
looking to retire this summer, hopefully.
Wow, wow, wow. You have done a lot for this community, and for those, I just wanted to, let people the audience know who are outside of the Cleveland, Ohio area. Tremont is the area of anybody who's familiar with the, story, The Christmas Story.
Mm,
It was filmed in that, particular area of Cleveland, so that's just a fun
yes.
fact for
It's
audiences.
very, very, that was my first time ever venturing. I definitely will be back, but it
Mhm,
was just the vibe was just awesome. People were just walking and the
mhm.
lights and all the art galleries and the boutiques and the restaurants, just a really nice vibe. So I
Right.
definitely plan to visit them again this summer.
Did you see the, lampshade leg? The house?
No,
You didn't
no,
actually
I
see,
didn't
okay.
get to see that. But I was at Visible Books,
Okay.
um, which is a bookstore,
Mhm,
kind of like a library. And
mhm.
so downstairs from them was like a pizzeria and a barbecue
Oh,
spot. I
okay.
was like, oh. So, but I was just looking around my surroundings, where
Mhm.
I was, and people were just out and just walking and it was like, wow, this is like, I don't know, it just kinda reminded me a little bit of Crocker Park. It's,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the people just out milling around and
Right.
walking and, looking in the windows, but, what really got me was I saw some of the art galleries.
Mhm.
I could see that, and I'm like, "Oh, this is really nice." So, definitely gonna make me a day trip back over there.
So those who are want to visit the Cleveland area, I definitely suggest you to go into the Tremont area because there's a lot of cool stuff. It's been a while since I've been in that area, but I really enjoyed myself. When I was, I had visit that part of Cleveland.
Very nice vibe.
So tell us about what you are doing. You have created a nonprofit organization, and based on the lack of services for special needs population. So I want you to tell us about that. How did that come about?
Okay. Well, I have a sister with special needs, and she is 53 years old. She just turned 53 on March 22nd. And we lost our mom a year and a half ago. Not quite a year and a half, but close.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister lived with my mom all her life. Um, Having a sibling with special needs, it's a different type of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you very responsible at a young age. So I just feel that all my life I've just been very responsible because I was always looking out for her even when we were
Mm-hmm.
little, because I knew that she could not look out for herself and she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
aware of things. um so my mom had a emergency plan in place for my sister, and I did not realize that. She and I had not really talked about it
Mm-hmm.
in detail, because my sister was a very, very sensitive subject with my mother, and it was
Mm-hmm.
one that she held very, very tightly to her heart. She
Mm-hmm.
worried about my sister all the time because my sister's not verbal and she doesn't understand danger,
Mm-hmm.
and she's,
Mm-hmm.
childlike. And
Right.
so my mom was very, very protective of her. So if you wanted to upset my mom, you say or do something or not do something for my sister.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
her baby. And
Mm-hmm.
so when my mom got sick, she, told me that she had an emergency plan in place for my sister, and she evidently had been talking with my sister's caseworker through
Mm-hmm.
Murray Ridge,
Mm-hmm.
because as I understand it, that people with special needs have waivers, medical waivers, waivers
Mm-hmm.
for different services for them.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me to reach out to my sister's caseworker, and I did. And um, I just, at the time when I didn't know what we were dealing with my mom, and I couldn't be in two places at one time. I could not take care of both of them. And the
Right.
pandemic was at an all-time high at this time. So they still were limiting people at the hospital. You could only have
Mm-hmm.
one visitor. So
Right.
when I reached out to my sister's caseworker, and I'm just kind of skipping some things because my mom ended up having to be hospitalized, so I
Mm-hmm.
had to be with her. And once I explained it to the caseworker, she told me how there was an emergency um, housing for my sister to be at. And it turned out too that it was local right here in Elyria. And
Wow.
actually on the west side
Mm-hmm.
of town, out like on the outskirts. And I remember looking for the facility, thinking I'm looking for, an apartment type thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I passed it and it was a house. It was like a duplex, one floor house, and
Mm-hmm.
very nice. And it was a temporary stay. You could not stay there, for a long, long time, but it was
Mm-hmm.
definitely for an emergency type situation. So very nice. My sister had her own room, her own bathroom area. So she kind of like had her own area to herself. And the very neat part also was that she had 24-hour care. They had
Mm-hmm.
caregivers that rotated and worked shifts. So during the day, there were two people on shift with, there, because the other side um, was actually two gentlemen's with special needs. That was their house. They lived
Oh,
there.
okay.
So the
Okay.
other side was actually residential.
Mm-hmm.
And so those two gentlemen on the other side of the unit, they had their caregivers and people looking after them, and it was separated. My sister
Mm-hmm.
was on one side and they were on the other. But that was such a blessing. I was like, I didn't even know that this was an option, you know. So
Right.
I was able to look after my mom, be with her, and then after we realized uh, the severity of what we were dealing with my mom, a decision
Mhm.
had to be made about my sister because my mom was, 78 years old, and
Mhm.
I just knew that she could not continue to take care of my sister. She had done I can't even tell you, just such an excellent job of taking care
Mhm.
of my sister, all
Mhm.
these years. But
Mhm.
we had to make a decision, and so I had to go back and have another conversation with the caseworker, and she was really nice and very, very helpful, and very understanding, and, because she had told me, "Bev, let me know what you guys, decide to do." She said, "There
Mhm.
are some options," and, she said, "There's housing available," because I'm I don't know, unless you've ever had a sibling with special needs,
Right.
you worry all the time what is going to happen if something happens to your parent.
Exactly.
My life is not structured like my mom's.
Right.
My mom's life was just amazing in itself. God just did. I
Mhm.
saw him do so many things for her
Mhm.
that she never worked full time
Mm.
ever, but God
Mhm.
but she always was giving and blessing people. So she always was good,
Mhm.
financially and spiritually and everything else. But I work full time and
Mhm.
I have a, young teenager myself. He's 16 at home. So, I know that I just could not take care of my sister full time like my mom did. And that in itself hurt me because
Mhm.
in a sense that's my sister.
Right.
I know that was my mother's child, but I still had a very high level of worry for my sister. Like,
Mhm.
Lord, I just want her to be okay. I don't want
Right.
anything to happen to her. I want her to
Mhm.
be taken care of, and I just want her to be good.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so when I spoke with the caseworker, she at the time she told me, "Bev, okay, I'm gonna search." But she said sometimes it's hard to find it locally. So
Mhm.
me and my family, we are people of faith. We trust
Mhm.
God,
Mhm.
and so my family, we started, and my mom was praying too that God would open a door. So there were actually three places that I could go and look at, and one was here in Elyria,
Mhm.
and there were two in Lorraine, and
Mhm.
I ended up choosing one in Lorraine. And
Okay.
just dealing with it the last year, how Murray Ridge owns several houses in Lorain County.
And
I
who's Murray Ridge for those who doesn't know?
Murray Ridge is the organization for people with disabilities.
Mhm.
They are located out on Infirmary Road here in Elyria. They have a school and they have a workshop that,
Mhm.
a lot of our adult um, people that have, disabilities, they go there and they
Mhm.
work, and they it's a productive thing for them. And then when
Mhm.
you're younger, there's a school out on Murray Ridge that
Right.
the kids attend. So it's a very, very good service. I mean, I remember going to siblings day with
Mhm.
my sister when I was probably like in 6th, 7th grade, when
Mhm.
she was at the school, the elementary school, probably when she was probably like 7, 8 years old. And it's just always been um, a blessing and a help, for families that have people with disabilities and special
Mhm.
needs. So I did not know that they owned properties, houses that you actually, they house people with special needs. Like my sister is in a really nice house off of 58 and
Wow.
they're off of
Wow.
Nantucket Drive.
Wow.
And I mean, just beautiful home. And Murray Ridge owns it. And she and her roommate, and sometimes it might be more than two,
Mhm.
depending on if the house is a a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom,
Mhm.
and she and her roommate, they have 24-hour care. They grocery shop for them. They take them out on outings. I was talking to the provider the other day, and he was telling me how the staff ladies had taken the girls for a walk around the block when it was really
Okay.
nice.
Mhm.
They take them out to eat. If I want my sister, if I can't get over there to pick her up, they will
Mhm.
bring her and drop her off to me
Oh, wow.
and come back and pick her up, and take her home. So what I love about it is my sister, even though she is special needs, she has
Mhm.
a quality level of independent living. Like
Yes.
she's got her own house and she goes
Mhm.
home to her own house with her own
Mhm.
room and her own bathroom and
Mhm.
and I'm happy about that, and I can go in and out, there's never any restrictions because it is just like she's got her own place. But
Mhm.
she just has caregivers helping her,
Right.
24/7. But yeah, I could pop up anytime and just ring the doorbell and they're, like, "Oh, hey, Bev, come on in.
Mhm.
Roz is
Oh,
in the
good.
kitchen," you know.
Good.
So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So with all of this, happening, this is how the Beatrice Taylor Homes of Grace was birthed, and it actually came into being on my mom and my sister's birthday, March
Wow.
22nd this year.
Wow.
So right now, it is definitely in the baby stages. My oldest son is a real estate agent, so we are looking for a property because my first, God has just really been speaking to me. This whole project is a heart business.
Mhm.
It's not about, oh, I'm gonna do a dorm type thing and just pack a
Right.
bunch of people. It's about quality, it's about safety, and it's about
Mhm.
providing a nice, comfortable home setting for people with special needs because they deserve it just like anybody else,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
So we're excited. My family is excited. My aunt Bernice is, excited. My cousins, everybody. So everybody is just like all on board praying and supporting. So right now we're just looking for a duplex. That's what God laid on my heart to start
Mhm.
with is a duplex, so that I can have. I'd like to start with the emergency site, and then the other side be a residence. And then wherever God blesses it to prosper from there, wherever He leads us, we are going to follow. But it's just been, it was such a, I tell you, I cried in relief.
Mhm.
People have no idea when I found out about this service and that, I knew that my sister would be in a good place and that she
Right.
could have a level of independence.
Right.
It you don't realize how a heavy burden is sitting on you. You worry about it, you push
Yeah.
it to the back of your mind,
Mhm.
and you just keep on living, you keep on going. And then some days there's things that trigger it, and you're worried all over
Yep.
again. And I've sent up many prayers, over the years that, I said, Lord, I don't want to hurt my mom. I know that
Mhm.
it is very important to her that Roz is taken good care of, and it's
Mhm.
like, Lord, help me, help me. I can't tell you how many times my prayer was just that. Help me, Lord. Open a door. Give me strategy. Show me. And he straight opened the door, and it's been a wonderful experience just watching my sister. You know, she is really starting to adjust. It was really hard at first. I think I shed the most tears with her, even
Mhm.
after losing our mom, just trying to think about how much of this does she understand.
Right.
And, her
Right.
just knowing that her whole life has changed.
Mhm.
But, I see at Christmas time this, past year, I see her more relaxed, and just more herself, and I'm just thankful. I'm so thankful and grateful.
For you to, and this is a lesson for all of us. You saw a need. I mean, you were first of all, praise God, because God steps
Yes.
in right,
Amen.
right when he
Amen.
right when you need him. He's right there.
Yes.
And for you to pass on that blessing that was given to you to pass on to someone else. I mean, that's nothing but, blessings from God. And how can people who wish to donate or how to help you as far as any kind of accessories that you may need for your home?
Oh.
So how can people reach out to you
Um, well, I'm not even set up. I
once
do
you
have
get
my other business, BW's Business
okay?
Services.
Well, I'll
Um,
make sure. Yeah, I'll make sure once you get up and running, I'll make sure I
okay.
put the word out so people,
Yes,
wish
and
to
I
donate
will,
or
and we would definitely appreciate it. And I'm just, I'm looking forward to it because, there's still such a need right here in Lorain County for it because
absolutely.
the facilities, the houses do fill up,
Hmm.
with people. So it's definitely a need. It's definitely going to be um, conducive for our people in the community that are special needs, our families that and just to back up a little bit, the emergency site also too will be used not only in the situation of like how I found myself with my mom sick, but you might
Hmm.
be a family that you want to take a week vacation or two
Hmm.
weeks vacation,
Hmm.
and and you need somewhere for your loved one to be,
Right.
and because I'm sorry, we all need a break
Yes.
sometimes, and need to
Absolutely.
get away.
Absolutely.
So that emergency site will definitely supply, that need, that service for that particular situation and not just emergencies.
Wow. Have you
So
had any response from any of city officials or anything that wants, as far as
nothing yet because I haven't really, you're the first one that has like
oh, okay.
really
Well, good. I'm
invited
glad
me. I haven't, it's like I said, it's still so new. It's just like
uh-huh.
a little baby. It just happened like 3 weeks ago. So,
Wow. Wow, but
just
it's on like I we talked offline. It's a special need here,
yes.
definitely, and this would probably give someone the inspiration for in other areas because
Hmm.
that is a lack. You
Yes.
didn't know that there were other resources that Murray Ridge
No.
had until
No.
unfortunately you were in a situation to where
Yes.
you were seeking further resources.
Yes,
So
absolutely. So I
so
appreciate you,
oh,
giving me
absolutely.
the opportunity to even talk about it. I'm so, happy, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm just looking for God to open doors and to structure. I actually do have a meeting with someone that's kind of a expert with helping find the grants and
Okay.
the monies for the
Right.
type of service that I want to provide. So I
Mhm.
actually do have an appointment coming up with her on next week.
Okay,
Okay.
good, good. Like I said, as soon as you get up and running, if you need, me to help you with finding, resources or
I
whatever, if
appreciate
people want to,
that.
because I definitely want to advertise and put the word out so people can donate and, whatever they
Thank
have
you.
because I know, this is a wonderful thing.
It
And
is.
it's near and dear to my heart because, as you know, I'm in the same situation as you. I
Yes.
do have a special needs sibling myself. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
just when you were saying what you were doing, I said, oh, thank you, Lord.
I know. I know. That is
Praise God
exactly
because,
how I felt too.
right, because I can be in that same situation as and
Okay.
so at least I know I have a good resource to go to, and you
Yes.
just have that. I could tell you just have that compassion. It's not about
It is,
making
it's
money or anything like
personal,
that. It's
it's
personal,
personal
exactly.
because, it's really in honor of my sister
Hmm.
and my mom because eventually my sister is going to be back under the Beatrice Homes of Grace. Once
Good,
we get everything up and, where we
right.
need it to be, she'll be in her own house,
Hmm.
under, where I can keep a closer eye on.
Hmm.
So that's the game plan. That is the game plan.
Wow. Now you mentioned you have another side hustle going on. So you want to tell everybody what
Yes,
you do if
it's
they
called BW's Business Services.
okay.
And I'm actually going to post something on Facebook later this evening. But BW's Business Services has been, oh, alive for probably the past 6 7 years. And I would just do, I'm an administrative assistant, so, and it's
Mhm.
also virtual, and I'm a notary. So it's doing clerical business services for individuals to small mid-sized businesses. But since I really have moved towards that, I want to retire.
Mhm.
The past, 6 to 7 months, I've really decided that I'm getting ready to really push it,
Mhm.
because I've done some projects here and there for some churches,
Mhm.
some superintendents, just different people in the community. But now I'm getting ready to really get BW's Business Services out there, because
Okay.
it is definitely going to be one of my vehicles to go along with my retirement.
Let me put it in here. So for those who are on YouTube who wants to, can they could just email you or
Yes, everything should be on my business card.
okay.
And my, do you have it?
BW
Because it's BWZ BISS business at
BI
gmail.com.
BIS
It's it's BIZNE, uh-huh, NESS at gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up my business card. I don't know if they can see it, but
Okay, let me hopefully is that right? Or is it all lowercase or what?
it is it is all lowercase. My
Okay.
website is if everybody's ready, BWSBIZ services.com.
Okay.
Oh
This
no,
is her
it's really
website.
light. There you go.
And then the BWSBIZNESS
S
at Gmail.
.com.
Okay. For those who are listening by podcast or any other podcasting type platform, I'll have it in the show notes. So you can definitely reach out if you have a project or anything that you need her to do. And,
Yes.
she's an administrative assistant. She worked for the city of the schools, local school system. So
Yes.
she definitely well
Yes.
versed in, getting things done. So,
Thank you. And thank
but
you so much,
oh,
Harriet.
thank you. Thank you.
Really
Like I
appreciate
said,
it.
this is a godsend. You know, nonprofit this organization would be a godsend
It
because,
is.
and it's something that, for those of us who have families who are, who have special need loved ones,
Yes.
we just didn't know that there are resources out there
No, and
beyond,
I did not either. And you know, you always hear somebody say that there's always something good that even
Mhm.
comes out of something sad,
Yes.
and even though we lost our mom,
Mhm.
just I think too, even the independence that my sister is experiencing,
Mhm.
living on her own,
Mhm.
because they're not her mom. So I'm
Right.
sure she's getting away with some stuff.
Right. Right.
So, and she's a little old lady now, even though she
Uh-huh.
doesn't look like it. She hasn't
Mhm.
aged at all, but because she
Mhm.
has no worries. But,
Mhm.
so she's got the freedom to, kind of do, whatever she feels like doing.
Mhm.
And it was so great because just a little bit about the house, like I could pick out her room decor and everything.
Okay.
So once we picked her room and everything. I went shopping for her,
Mhm.
picked out her colors, decorated her room,
Mhm.
got everything nice. The one of the caregivers, we unpacked all her clothes and put all her things away. And I mean, it's just nice. It's just, and it just made me happy because
Right.
if you are any type of person, you want the people that you care about to have just as much comfort and just as much nice as you have nice going on.
Absolutely.
And so my sister's room is, I told her, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna come over here and lay down and take me a nap." So I'm like, and Roz is looking at me like, "You better get on out of my room." but but it's really her. I mean, it's just nice. They're the whole house, and I got a chance to go and look at the house and
Mhm.
everything beforehand. So the things that God has got me going through with her and
Mhm.
experiencing are things that I will bring into the Beatrice Taylor Homes of Grace. I already know that there's certain things I have to have in place in the
Mhm.
bathroom for safety,
Right.
handles, you know, and just having it really nice for them, letting them decorate their room, letting them
Mhm.
bring their own stuff. And
Right.
so I'm really learning how to structure
Mhm.
business actually by dealing with the things with my sister. So I'm really grateful to God, for him.
Wow.
He's tutoring me right now.
Yes. 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 And the fact that they're, the staff is, they're allowing the
Yeah.
family to be so
Oh, yes.
involved. And
Yes, and it
that's the
is.
important thing.
The owners, the provider who takes care of the ladies,
Mhm.
has told me, "Oh, no, Miss Wells, anytime you want to come, you just, come. You don't call, you don't just say, you just, this is your sister. You pop up
Mhm.
when you want to." And I feel good about that openness. You
Right.
know what I mean? That transparency. So
Right.
that is exactly what I want to bring to the Beatrice Taylor Homes of Grace. And I want my staff to realize these people are our clients.
Yes.
They are important. Their
Yep.
well-being, their comfort, their care is number one.
Exactly.
And if that's not something that you can handle, get on board with, comply with, then you will not work for the Beatrice Taylor
Right.
Homes of Grace.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so
Well,
thanks.
well, Bev, I really appreciate this. Like I said, as soon as you get up and running and everything,
Okay.
give me all the information that
I
you want
will.
people to know, and I will definitely make sure that the
Okay.
word is out. The word
Okay.
is out. But in the meantime, for those of who need some little clerical stuff done, you got a small business like myself, please reach out to her and show her some love and show her some business.
Thank
All right,
you.
everybody. Until
All
next
right.
time, enjoy your journey and be blessed and be safe. All right. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.